in the name of Allah, we gonna start. Hello, my little scientists. Welcome to our online science class. I am teacher Riham, your science teacher. May Allah protect Saudi Arabia and all Islamic countries from any dangers. Why you study science grade 2? Because the science of today is the technology of tomorrow. Please grade 2 follow our online class rules. Be prepared on the time. Turn off your microphone and your camera and no one write on the chat, okay? Let's revise our lesson, the moon and stars. The moon and stars. First, I start by this ayah from chapter Al-An'am, and it's He who plays for you the stars that you may be guided by them. So Allah created the stars for guided them. Okay, and now what does the moon look like, and what does the stars? I will tell you. Okay, first, what about the moon? The moon is made of rocks. The moon is made of rocks. So the moon doesn't shine. The moon doesn't shine, but the sun can make its own light, but the moon cannot. So also in chapter Yunus, he who made the sun shining light and the moon a dark light. So the sun can make its own light, but the moon no. So the moon, how we can see the moon? Because the sunlight shines on it. How we can see the moon? Because the sunlight shines on it. Again, how we can see the moon in the sky? It's made of rocks. How we can see it? It doesn't shine, but the sunlight shines on it. The sunlight shines on it. Okay, and number one, we have two facts. Number one, the Earth, the blue ball moves around the sun, around the green ball, the orange ball, and the moon moves around the sun. The moon moves around the sun. The white ball moves around the blue ball. Okay, so number one, the Earth moves around the sun. The Earth moves around the sun. Okay. The Earth moves around the sun, and number two, the moon moves around the Earth. Okay, how we can see the moon? I tell you, because the sunlight shines on it, and the moon orbits the sun in 1 month. So the moon moves around the Earth. The moon moves around the Earth in 1 month. In 1 month. Okay. So when I ask you, this is the star that's close to the Earth. Okay, now, okay. Why does the moon seem to change shape? Why? Really, the moon doesn't change its shape, but the sunlight affects on the moon shape. And each moon shape we can see, or we see it in the sky, is called phase. It's called phase. So the moon have different phases. The moon have different phases by the sunlight. Okay, look at the moon phases here. Oh, subhanallah. Okay, so why you think only this portion of the moon we can see it and the other we cannot see it? Because the sun shining on the part, so the sun shining on the part of the moon, the sun shining on the part of the moon which face away to the sun, but other part is darkened. Other part is turned away from the sun, so it is dark. So here this part shined by the sunlight, or the sunlight shining on it, but the other part is turned away from the sun, so it is dark. So we can see the phases of the moon because the sunlight shines on part of the moon and other part is turned away. Okay, and if the moon here between the sun and the Earth, now it's a new moon and we cannot see it. If we look at the sky, there is no moon, but the moon is found in the sky, but we cannot see it because the Earth, the moon between the sun and between the Earth. So the sun cannot shine, or we cannot see the light from the sun on the moon. Okay, so we have 4 phases of the moon. The new moon, we cannot see it in the sky. It's happened when the moon between the Earth and the sun. And first quarter, it's after a week. Now the moon looks like this, first quarter. And full moon, and we can see the full moon in the next week, okay, after 2 weeks in the month, okay, and the last quarter by the third week, and the moon in third quarter it's way around from it's away around from the earth, and this is the last quarter from the moon, and so on. The moon will start again from the new moon, and first and fall and last quarter, and so on in the next months, okay. What about the stars? Are all the stars have the same colors and size? Of course, no. Look, they are different. So, no. When I ask you, are all the stars have the same colors and sizes? Of course, no. The stars are different. Okay, the stars are different. What are the stars? Stars is an object, or star is an object in space made of hot gases. Star is an object in space made of hot gases. If we look at the sky, if we look at the night sky, we can see a light. This light from the star can make its own light. Versus the moon, okay? So the star can make its own light. If we look at the sky, we can see the light from the moon, the stars, subhanallah. Okay, and also the stars, some stars can make patterns in the sky like this, shapes, okay, different shapes in the sky, okay? Why are the stars look tiny or look very, very small in the sky? Really? Because it is, or because they are far away. But really, it's not very small, but they are far away. They are far away, so we cannot see it well. And we can observe it by the telescope. We can observe it, and scientists can observe it by the telescope. What about the sun? The sun is an object can make its own light. So it is like the star. Yes, of course, it's a star. Sun is a star, is the star which closest to the earth. So sun is a star which closest to the earth. So if you look at the nights, the day sky, we can see the sun as the big star because it is close to the earth. It's near to the earth. It's close to the earth. Okay, honey? So, with the summary of our lesson, number one, the moon is made of rock. Number one, the moon is made of rock. And number two, the moon doesn't shine, but we see the moon because the sunlight shines on it. The sun is a star, and it's the star which closest to the earth. Each moon shape we see is called the phase, and the phases of the moon repeated in the same order each month. Repeated in the same order each month. Okay? Now let's bring your notebook, honey. Okay?